this year David Reynolds could have been at Grove Racing instead of Richie Stanaway. He probably wouldn't have been offered a deal for 2025, but he would have won races, got pole positions and podiums. We know that Dave is very good, and whether Matt Payne would have been even close to where Dave would have been in that car this year, I think that Dave probably would have been in the top 5 of the championship at Grove Racing. I think taking a 1-year deal over a 2-year deal is the better option in some cases, so I think that Anton might have made a mistake refusing a 1-year deal at DJR, as he is rumoured to have done. Well, a few teams actually have been going that sort of approach. Walkinshaw had that same approach as well. I don't know if Nick Percat was offered a 1-year deal for 2024, and Fabian Coulthard was offered a 1-year deal, but Ryan Wood was on a 2-year deal, and they've extended that already. They've confirmed that Ryan Wood and Chaz Mostert will be driving for Walkinshaw in 2026 in the Toyota Supras. You know, for a guy like Fabian Coulthard who'd already been out of a seat for a couple of years, it probably wasn't worth coming back for 1 year. For a guy like Lee Holdsworth, 1 year out, 1 year back in, then goes, you know what, I'm better off being a co-driver. Good for him. Richie Stanaway took a 1-year deal, and whether that was actually worth taking is a difficult question. Let's say he would have stayed at Triple Eight and got on the podium at Bathurst again. He could potentially have been offered a multi-year deal. The 1-year deal that he was offered at Groves, maybe that was probably his best shot, and he's been able to do pretty decently with that. Qualifying very well. He qualified in the front row on the Saturday at Gold Coast, which was a crazy result. Like, to think that of all the drivers in that top 10 shootout, that Richie Stanaway would have put on the front row, I would not have expected it. I wouldn't have been surprised if Tommy Randall did it. I wouldn't have been surprised if Brock Feeney or Will Brown did it, or if Chaz Mostert did it, to be alongside Cam Waters on that front row. But Richie Stanaway was very impressive. He was very impressive in the top 10 shootout at Bathurst as well. He's had his moments for sure of qualifying brilliance, but the racing has just not quite been there. So I think in some cases the 1-year deal, like, you've got to think about what the option is. Do you take 1 year alongside Brodie, or do you take 2 years alongside Dave Reynolds at Team 18? I think that he would have done well to have benchmarked himself against one of the best guys in the sport, who has already won all the bigger things. You could say, it's depending on what team you're in. Well, Brock Feeney hasn't won the championship, and Brock Feeney hasn't won Bathurst yet, and Brock Feeney's very good, and Will Brown hasn't done either. So that tells you where the standard's at with Brodie. Brodie's just that good. So I think if a driver has a chance to benchmark themselves against one of the best, it's worth doing. Jamie Whincup took that chance against Craig Lowndes. They said, you're throwing your career away going to be alongside Craig Lowndes. He's going to smash you. And Jamie had the equipment and the opportunity to go and do it, to go and take it to Lowndesy, and he did. It took him a couple of years, but he did it. I think Jamie had it where Lowndesy didn't, in the same sort of way that Mark Scaife had it where Lowndesy didn't. There's raw talent and there's hard work. That's what got Jamie Whincup all those titles. But to take the chance to benchmark yourself against one of the best in the business is an opportunity not worth throwing away, I think. But then that raises the question, should Cam Waters have taken a chance to drive alongside Chaz at Walkinshaw? Well, Cam's already driven alongside Chaz at Walkinshaw. When they were both at Tickford, they would butt heads. They know they're on par. It just comes down to equipment. People rate Cam over Chaz, but I'd rate Chaz over Cam. Chaz has been able to steer a car that probably shouldn't be in the position it's in, because the other driver, it doesn't matter who it's been in the last 4 years, has not been able to do it. That's how good Chaz has been in that car. So yeah, I think that Anton made a mistake choosing Team 18. I think that Team 18 made a mistake saying goodbye to Mark Winterbottom, but that's just something that's out of our control as fans. That's all I gotta say.